As the world navigates through these tumultuous times, marked by political tensions, social unrest, and economic uncertainty, the specter of riots looms ominously on the horizon. The events unfolding around us, from political rivalries to international conflicts, create even more discontent, threatening to ignite protests that may escalate into violence reminiscent of the unrest witnessed in 2020 surrounding George Floyd's death. At the forefront of current frustration is the impending election, pitting contenders with vastly different visions for the future against each other. The polarizing nature of this political contest stirs emotions and fuels divisions within society, laying the groundwork for potential unrest regardless of the outcome. And the mainstream media simply continues to add fuel to this fire. Compounding these tensions are the resurgence of anti-Semitism and the recent anti-Israel protests on college campuses. These demonstrations, funded and orchestrated by various groups, serve as flashpoints for broader societal discontent, reflecting underlying tensions and grievances. And these college students, led by professional protest organizers, are unfortunately being used to incite even more anger and polarization in the U.S. and elsewhere. And as the conflict in the Middle East escalates, drawing international attention and condemnation, the specter of violence looms larger, further exacerbating existing divisions. Simultaneously, geopolitical hostilities, like the current Russian-Ukraine conflict, add to the powder keg of global instability. The involvement of NATO allies and the suggested potential deployment of troops by some NATO countries raise the stakes, heightening fears of a broader conflagration with far-reaching consequences. And the economy and inflation add even another layer of uncertainty and dissatisfaction. Economic hardship and financial insecurity fuel resentment and disillusionment, amplifying the sense of injustice and inequality that underpins much of the societal unrest. In light of these challenges, it's imperative for people to prioritize their safety and their well-being. Here are the 4 levels of civil unrest and what you can expect from each one. Please pay special attention to the listed responses from government agencies and ask yourself why these protests are happening, who benefits from them, and what the end goal is. Level 1 unrest. At this lowest level of civil unrest, we witness localized disturbances, primarily affecting the immediate surroundings of the protesters. This level is characterized by spontaneous outbursts, often fueled by simmering tensions within communities. Examples of this include the race riots of the 1960s and the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. While Level 1 unrest can be deadly and destructive within its confined geographical zone, its impact is primarily felt by those living, working, or traveling in the affected area. Police response tends to be localized, and it may involve harsh measures to contain the unrest. Level 2 unrest. Moving up the scale, Level 2 unrest involves deliberate targeting of specific areas or entities to maximize disruption. Rioters or protesters may focus their efforts on business districts, transportation systems, or organizations, aiming to cause widespread disruption. Examples of this include the World Trade Organization protests in Seattle in 1999, where demonstrators targeted the entire downtown area, affecting numerous businesses and workers. This level of unrest is often planned or semi-planned, with targets chosen deliberately. While still geographically focused, Level 2 unrest has the potential to disrupt normal life and business on a regional or even national scale. Level 3 unrest. Level 3 unrest escalates to the point where mass disturbances or authoritarian crackdowns disrupt entire regions or states. Regardless of the initial cause or location of the unrest, its effects ripple out to impact everyone within the affected region. This may manifest through travel restrictions, mass arrests, rationing of essential resources like food and fuel, and the imposition of emergency measures like roadblocks and ID checks. Level 3 unrest represents a significant escalation in both the scope and severity of disruption compared to the lower levels. And level 4 unrest. At this highest level of civil unrest, level 4 represents a nationwide or even international crisis, similar to martial law. If unrest escalates to this point, the government's response may pose a greater threat to public well-being than the original cause of the upheaval. Level 4 unrest signals a complete breakdown of societal order and governance, with far-reaching implications for individuals and communities. So here is a list of ways you can protect yourself and also anticipate and avoid getting caught up in these situations. Stay informed. Keep abreast of current events and developments in your area and beyond to anticipate potential unrest. Practice situational awareness. Remain vigilant and attentive to your surroundings, identifying potential threats and exits in any situation. Avoid high-risk areas. Steer clear of known hotspots for unrest, like protest sites or areas with a history of violence. Plan escape routes. Familiarize yourself with multiple exit routes from any location, including both indoor and outdoor spaces. Travel in groups. Whenever possible, travel with companions to increase safety and reduce your vulnerability. Maintain a low profile. Avoid drawing unnecessary attention to yourself, dress inconspicuously, and refrain from engaging in provocative behavior. Keep communication channels open. Stay connected with your friends, your family, or trusted contacts, sharing your whereabouts and your plans. Have some emergency supplies. Carry some essential items like water, snacks, a first aid kit, and a fully charged phone in case of emergencies. Know when to retreat. Trust your instincts and exit any situation that feels unsafe or volatile, even if it means leaving belongings behind. Seek shelter. If caught in a sudden outbreak of violence, seek shelter in a secure location, like a nearby building or a vehicle. Stay calm and non-confrontational. In the event of a confrontation, remain calm, avoid escalating tensions, and prioritize de-escalation. Avoid weapons. Refrain from carrying or using weapons unless absolutely necessary for self-defense, as their presence alone can escalate conflicts. Seek assistance. If in immediate danger, seek help from nearby authorities, businesses, or bystanders. We make a mistake if we think civil unrest is strictly an urban phenomenon. It can happen anywhere. If we ever have serious food shortages, expect rural areas to be besieged. By remaining vigilant and attuned to our surroundings, we can identify warning signs of unrest and take proactive measures to avoid confrontation.